When I pull up on you, then I might swear, ayy. Double off deuce, ayy. That you might work, ayy. When I pull up on you, then I might swear, ayy. Double off deuce, ayy. That you might work, ayy. That you might work.
Welcome back to another episode of the Michel Matters Podcast. I'm Jox Michel.
And I'm Jackie Michelle.
Welcome back.
Hey, guys.
Episode 30, the Steph Curry episode.
I'll just let you use your basketball analogies.
Anyway.
It's what you do.
It is what I do. Alright. Another episode in. I'm so tired right now. We're recording really early.
It's not that early.
It's early to me, at least to record. So what's up? What's been going on the last couple weeks?
Let's see. You cleaned out your closet.
I don't know why that's news. But
that's news because we were KonMariing. Well, I was.
Yeah,
KonMariing
you were KonMariing
the house, and then you were like, "Your closet looks really good."
Did I say that?
Yeah.
I don't remember saying that.
You did. You were like, "Yeah, it does look good. Kind of makes me want to do mine." And then finally,
I don't know if that's how that went.
I think so. I'm pretty sure. And then I don't know what day of the week it was, but it was pretty early
Monday.
This week. Yeah.
It was Monday. Because I remember you were doing yours over the weekend, and then you're like, this is what happened. You're like, you should do yours too. And I was like,
that's definitely not
okay. Nah, I'm pretty sure because it literally happened the next day.
No, because the night I did it, I was like, my closet looks good. I did that, huh? You were like, yeah, you did.
I mean, I was hyping you up for sure. I was definitely hyping you up. I remember.
Yeah, you were like, it makes me want to do mine. 100%.
If I said anything, it's like, I do need to clean out my closet a little bit.
Okay.
But
you cleaned it out.
And I'm like, yeah, you should do it tomorrow.
No. Bruh, where are you getting this from?
Because it literally, that's exactly how it happened.
Okay.
All right. Anyway, what else? We did go on our date. It was my turn to pick out the date for the month.
It was for February. But
yeah.
I squeezed it in the beginning of March.
I mean, February only got 28 days, so it's still kind of February.
Yeah, I'll give it to you.
So, yeah.
It was fun.
So, we went to Extreme Axe Store in Hollywood. Mm-hmm. It's a really dope spot in downtown Hollywood. And there's different...
How did you even find this place?
All right. Truth be told, my friend told me.
Okay.
Pat. Because I don't want it to seem like I'm just that, I found it like that. My friend Pat actually around Valentine's Day, he was going to go with his girl, and I think they did go. Mm-hmm. And then he asked me if I wanted to go with you. Mm-hmm. And I was like, at the time I was like,
Oh, with them?
Yeah, with them.
Oh, okay.
Like, double it up on Valentine's Day. I was like, Valentine's Day, that's y'all first Valentine's Day too, so let y'all do your thing. And I was kind of like, But I kind of told him, like, the more I thought, I was like, Jackie might like that. Like, she weird like that. She might like it.
That's definitely a Jox thing, though.
But
I would never have, actually purchased a ticket to go to something like that.
But, I figure that's kind of what the date days are.
Yeah.
At least this would, do something we wouldn't normally do.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, this might be perfect.
Yeah.
So I had to let him know, so I was like, hey, just so you know, I'm about to take Jackie to the Extreme Axe Store. Yeah, just because when he told me, I was like, he's like, oh, I want to take my girl for Valentine's Day. I was like, for Valentine's Day? You want to throw axes? I was just like,
They seem like the same.
He does.
Yeah.
So I was just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But then the more I thought, I was like, it's not a bad date. No. So I set it up. We went. It took a couple of throws just to get used to it. Mm-hmm. They have two different sides. They have basically the beginner side where you're throwing into almost like a cork board.
Yeah. So it sticks better.
Yeah. So it's a little easier to get the axe in, and then on the cork, there's actually a screen, a projection of a screen, and it has different games. It has a regular bullseye, or they have one where it's different point system you could throw it at. Mm-hmm. And that was fun. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then the other side, I believe, is like the more competitive side where they have like the real axe throwing competitions and stuff, and they're throwing it to wood.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool.
It was really loud in there.
Yeah, I mean, it's people throwing axes.
Yeah. I mean, you're throwing things to the wall, but then also like you're putting force into it.
Yeah.
So like some people will like yell while they're throwing it or whatever. So, but it was fun, and then we went out to eat afterwards. Yeah. So
I would definitely go back. Yeah.
Date day.
I did that.
Yeah.
You did January, I did February, and I want to say for the first 2 months I won. I'm gonna just go ahead and throw it out there.
Okay. You already lost because you was late, but
I wasn't late. I told you February is a short month.
Yeah, I understand that.
Anyway.
But we had a lot going on in February. What else?
We're kind of planning a family vacation right now, and it is stressful.
I'm not planning it.
I mean, yeah, we're not planning it. It's being planned, and every time I get like, because I see when the group message comes in, I just kind of like die a little inside. For real.
I am. So it's on your side of the family.
Yeah.
So I am stepping.
What you mean, my
back.
side of the family?
Yeah,
I
like
thought we were just one family.
We are one family, but we're like,
all right.
Like your cousins are my cousins, your siblings are my siblings, all of that. But there are some people in the chat that I don't know like that, so I'm just like, I'll just let y'all take care of that.
I don't think I've sent one message in that group chat yet.
Yeah.
And that's on purpose. Because I don't got nothing nice to say.
What?
I don't.
It should be a good trip, though.
It would be.
Well, we'll see. We'll see how it all turns out.
If it even happens.
It's all like young people planning it.
Yeah.
So.
And then they got the old people coming. It should be fun. Our family hasn't done anything like that ever. So that would be huge if we could actually get it done.
Yeah.
But I'm not getting my hopes up.
Okay. Well, our parents are coming today. Well, our moms are coming.
Yes, both our moms.
Just to like help. I don't know. Well, my mom
They're
is
not
staying.
here to help.
No, my mom is staying the night, but I bought like flowers and stuff, so they're gonna help me garden.
Jackie, I'm gonna find time to leave. I have things I need to do.
I'm excited. It's been a while since I hung out with both of them together, so I think it's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be interesting, but that sounds like a good,
it's gonna be fun.
Girls' Day. I'm here for it. If you didn't already get your nails, I would have paid for you to go get your nails done. That would have been great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but I want to garden.
That's what I'm saying. But anyway, so hey,
it's
y'all
really
enjoy.
fun.
I got something I gotta do.
Yeah.
I don't know what yet, but I got something I gotta do.
I don't know. I don't see it like that because
I'm not saying it's gonna be bad.
Get along,
but what?
So.
Yeah. But I just don't know what I would do. Like.
What do you mean?
Y'all gonna be outside gardening anyway. What I'm gonna do?
You can garden.
You lost me.
Yeah, you can garden too.
Anyway. One more bit of news. We're now on Spotify.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Finally, Spotify was hating before.
Yeah, it's kind of like new for them to have podcasts on there. It's been maybe a few months.
Yeah.
I think.
But I remember longer than that because I remember trying to get us on Spotify a couple times before, and I was sending the request and nothing. And then the other day you hit me, you're like, "We're gonna be on Spotify," and I felt like, "What?" Jackie got the juice. Like,
yeah,
how does she?
You know.
All right.
International Women's Day.
It is Women's History Month, so all right, I get all that.
Yes, but yeah, so yeah, we're on Spotify now, so that's a great platform to be on. Hopefully, if you guys listen to most of your podcasts on Spotify, that helps you out. And
I think that covers all the platforms now. I think we're on iTunes. We've been on iTunes,
Apple Podcasts.
SoundCloud. What's the difference?
They changed it.
Anyway,
a long time.
Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, now Spotify.
Podbean, YouTube.
Podbean, everything. Stitcher. You can find us everywhere. We out here. We international now.
Okay.
We legit.
Ish.
We legit. We been legit.
Okay.
But
yeah. So you guys can subscribe and rate us on Apple Podcasts.
Can you rate us on Spotify?
I don't know. You can follow us on Spotify.
And you rate us on iTunes if you listen. 5 stars.
Yeah.
Anything less, you a hater.
Send us comments on SoundCloud, on Instagram at Jackie I Michelle, Twitter at Coach_JOX. And if you want to sponsor the podcast in any way, just check out our sponsors.
I'm here for
in the show notes below. So you'll get some good deals, and I'll make sure to add more.
I thought you meant for
more.
them to sponsor us. No, they just.
What do you mean?
They're just like, that's not sponsoring us.
Yeah, our sponsors.
I thought you were talking about like send it to my Cash App.
No, I'm not asking. That's weird.
I'm
not asking
so
for money.
So I'm a bird.
Yes.
All right.
Let's move on.
All right. So for this episode's current matter, I didn't want to. I thought I would not have to talk about this guy again.
Have we talked about this guy?
I feel maybe.
I don't think so. I think we were waiting.
Oh well. So this week there was the big R. Kelly interview with Gayle. I would prefer not to talk about R. Kelly just because, I mean, everything's been said, but this week has been, first of all, the internet is gold. Y'all undefeated. All the memes, all the jokes.
Yeah.
Too bad he can't read them. But what?
The remix. You're terrible. The remixes, just everything.
Yeah, it's like,
yeah.
So for those who don't know or haven't seen it, R. Kelly, for some strange reason, did an interview with Gayle King this week. Gayle King, right?
What was
Gayle Queen now, right?
What do you think was the point of that interview?
I think he tried to clean up his image because.
How?
Okay, so he figured he'd go out because the whole time, I mean, you've never heard his side, I guess. Like, he's never really come out and made any statements. And it gave him a chance to, like, have the girlfriends do some type of public appearance. Mm-hmm. So they, look, I'm not beat up, I don't got no bruises. But, I don't know. So, there was a lot. So, I think it was early this week, they were just, like, Gayle put up a picture. And it was of R. Kelly, like, screaming, like, it was everywhere you saw him, like, in her face, and she was just sitting there, unbothered.
Yeah.
And there was just different clips of the interview, and he's, like, yelling, he's crying, he's all over the place. And it felt fake to me. It felt contrived, like... It
was funny to me, honestly. I don't know if he thought we were supposed to be sympathetic.
I think so. I think he has bad counsel.
That's another thing. I don't think he has a team at this point.
No, he 100%. He can't read who was setting up all the emails.
At this point, he has to be able to read something.
I mean, maybe he let the girls read it for him.
You're right.
But
that could be it. But he don't have no money.
That's the other thing.
How does he have a team?
And that's why he has to do damage or try to do damage control because nobody wants to book him. He can't work. Like he's struggling. Like he has to go out of the country now to get work.
Okay, so let's talk about certain points.
All right.
Since we're talking about money, he said he went to Bank of America for the first time by himself.
3 weeks ago.
Yeah, 3 weeks ago. Well, maybe like a month ago from now. And he found out that he had $350,000 in the bank. He wanted to open a new account, put that money in there, or whatever. Apparently, he owes like $160K in child support. So I feel like that would be priority, like to pay that, because he's in jail again, right? Like
yeah, he's in jail for not paying child support.
Right, but clearly you have the money to pay the child support.
I think he doesn't, and that's the thing.
I mean, it's 50% of your money, but
it's a couple. I got a lot of issues. First of all, the fact that you're 52, and this is the first time you ever been to the bank by yourself,
is a problem.
Granted, I know he's been making money for a long time.
Yeah.
He's probably had financial accountants and different financial managers this whole time.
So, like, for 30 years, you didn't know what was going on with your money?
Bro, I mean, I could have been making money longer than that, but...
I mean, let's say he was in the industry for, like, since he was 20 or so.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
30 years. That's 3 decades.
Hey.
You didn't know what was going on with your money?
I mean, you see it all the time. Not that long,
but
but
for
like,
a man who has been going to
knowing.
court for decades, like, you have to know what's going on with your money. You're paying lawyers, you're paying accountants, you're paying these girls that live with you apparently.
I'm not gonna keep like trying to repeat it, but like you also gotta remember he can't read, so a lot of things maybe he shies away from, but maybe, but they probably show him numbers, but you just have to believe what they show you.
Right.
So I guess part of it is, I mean, he maybe shied away from certain things because he wasn't comfortable. So like that's not his area. But to me, one of the big issues. R. Kelly is 52 years old. Say what you want about his character. He has an amazing catalog. Mm-hmm. You only got $350,000 in the bank?
Yeah, because if you're paying, think about it, you're paying all these people, you're paying
Jackie,
like for the tour.
Jackie, I'm not going to lie to you.
And if people have control over your account, you don't know what they're doing.
There is no excuse for R. Kelly to only have $350,000 in the account.
There is. We hear it all the time. I feel like not every singer, but like most singer stories end up like this.
Yes.
Not with all of these like allegations.
Yeah.
Story, like
but the money, the financial part.
Yeah.
Maybe like when you were like 30 or early, R. Kelly.
But when you don't read your contracts, when you don't have control over that stuff, of course it's gonna happen.
Reading is fundamental, people.
People don't do it anymore.
At least get the basics. That's crazy. But then he said he had to transfer money to a different account, and it took 6 to 7 days, and that's when he lost me. Cause I got bank account. I go to the bank.
Yeah, it's in there.
I know how to transfer money to account.
Same day.
Even if you do a wire transfer, it don't take 6 to 7 days.
Yeah.
To transfer money in the
at
same
Bank
bank.
of America.
In the same bank.
Bank of America at that.
It's not like you went to Wachovia.
Right.
Wachovia. Or you went TD.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, you gotta, it gotta go to a different bank. Maybe it gotta. Mm-hmm. No. All they did was move it from one account to the next.
Yeah.
So I'm not buying. I don't think he has $350,000 in his account.
Really?
I don't think so.
How much you think he has?
Less.
Oh.
If you had $360,000 or $50,000 or whatever in your account, and you owe $160 something in child support, I don't know for sure. And you're going to jail
for not paying it.
Exactly.
That's true.
I would pay it, or
and not only that,
I think the bank would garnish it, or the maybe they could garnish it. I don't know how that works.
Because even when he went to jail, I guess he was saying that because he didn't have the bond money or whatever the first time.
Yeah.
And then that lady, for whatever reason,
paid
it. And I guess he was saying like the whole 6 to 7 days part because of that.
Yeah, he was trying to create a timeline.
Right.
Yeah.
But you can still pay your child support.
Look, he don't got it.
The bond has been paid.
He don't got it. So.
But how he don't got it and he has 2 girlfriends, supposedly?
I don't know.
Like why would they?
I mean, they probably don't know the situation. Maybe this is the first time they're hearing about this. Because they
finished
the man how much
school
money he got.
They went to him. Anyway,
So I guess that's my other point. How do you feel about the 2 girls that's living and they're part of the interview?
I think, unfortunately, at this point, I don't know how far the parents can go.
Yeah.
Because they're of legal age. And it was the same thing that happened. Like, I feel like when you're a victim of these things, and maybe they're not looking at themselves as a victim, they're looking at themselves as they're in a happy 3-way relationship, right? You can look back to the first allegation with like the whole video where he peed on the girl and whatnot. The girl that they said was in the video was like, I ain't in no video.
I mean, you can understand that though.
So if they say they're good,
I mean,
where is the case? Like what?
I guess that's the issue.
At least for her parents and like those families, where's the case for them?
I'm
The other
confused.
allegations, there's a case, but for them, it's like, but what are you supposed to do?
I'm conflicted only because they're like 23.
Yeah.
21 to 23.
But they've been there since, like, at least the girl that was crying, talking about, my parents want money, and sold me to him. She was there since, like, graduation.
Yeah.
Or before graduation.
Before graduation.
So, it's like, they might have something, but I don't know about the other girl. The Azriel, I think is her name. I don't know about the Jocelyn.
The thing with that is, they're of age, right? Mm-hmm. And like you're sitting next to Gayle. If you say, "Hey, Gayle, like, get me out of here," you can leave. It's not like he literally had you chained. I know. There's mental, things, but like, how sorry am I supposed to feel for you? Or you have a moment, like if you want to say
in a situation for years, you start thinking that's normal.
Maybe.
Especially if you're 17 coming out of high school and this is the first man you've been with, I don't even know how to what do you even call that? That's not a relationship. Like you think that's normal behavior. Like, I'm with this man, he's just a celebrity, and this is just how things work.
But if that's what you like, is that a crime?
But you've manipulated me to like that.
I mean,
that's a crime. I mean, probably
women and men manipulate each other every day.
Huh?
Women and men manipulate each other every day of age.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I'm conflicted. I see where
conflicted about what? Clarify.
Like, should I care? Like, should I be?
About
should I have?
two?
Yeah, about the girl. Like, should I feel a way about it? Because
I don't know that there's anything to be done about these two specific girls at this present time. My problem is with R. Kelly. He needs to go to jail. Like, enough is enough.
Yeah.
Your time has come. Like, people have protected you for 30 years, your entire career. Nobody said anything when you married Aaliyah. Nobody said anything. Like, after this documentary, I feel like people started to believe more. But it was all stuff that was already out. Like, It was nothing, like, we didn't know.
I mean, for sure. I mean, it was just a lot. There was the hog tie part. I'm not gonna.
I didn't even watch that part, but I've heard clips.
Oh my hog tie people. It's crazy. Like, it's just. And the thing is, all right, I've lied before. I know lies. Like, he just.
Nah, you gotta stick to it.
No, you definitely gotta stick to it. That's what Justice Smollett taught us. But he.
I'm still on the fence about that one.
Okay.
What?
Okay.
I don't have no proof.
Anyway,
Show me the
look,
proof.
all right, we on R. Kelly this week, but all I'm saying, I can tell when somebody's media trained. The girl looked media trained. He looked like he had a story. He was sticking to it.
And they said he was in the background while they were interviewing the girls.
Yeah.
So it was like, really?
The only good thing that came out of this whole video was I have a new appreciation for Gayle. I always thought she was just the homie that Oprah put on, and I didn't know, listen, I didn't know her straps or her qualifications. Gayle, like,
she's interviewed tons of people.
No, I'm not saying, but the way she handled the situation, like,
well, that's
R.
just
Kelly
black
just-
women. That's just how we handle ourselves. But
I stand a queen. I ain't gonna lie.
But I think the only way that they're gonna get a case, these two specific families, because I think R. Kelly is going to jail this time for sure. Maybe not because of these two, but because of the others who have stood up. There was a girl in the documentary that he would like make her dress like a boy, supposedly. If she came out, because she ended up living with her mom. If she comes out to testify,
I don't see that.
I
happening.
think they're gonna have some
type of case, but I don't see it happening. And then like,
and she might though.
Even her, like,
apparently on the Shade Room, her mom was saying like she's gonna say something.
Oh,
but we haven't heard it.
Yeah, because she left, then she went back,
yeah,
and then she left again.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see. I'm not
But
banking on
that's how manipulative, controlling abusive relationships work.
Yeah. So
like, you leave, you go back. You leave, you go back.
Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah, but you know.
Well,
I don't know. And then I don't know. Do you believe the parents?
See,
because
I want
they do
to
play a part.
Yeah, I want to.
Because I'm not taking a 16-year-old child to an R. Kelly concert. Or 17.
I do think initially the parents had a certain motive, whether it be they thought it was their chance to be famous or get their daughter ahead in the music business. Yes, I think unfortunately some people sacrifice. You handed your child off to someone that people have made comments about for decades. Like, we've always said, I wouldn't let Michael Jackson babysit my son, and I wouldn't let R. Kelly babysit my daughter. Like, people have been saying that for years.
Yeah. And that's the thing, because I've, like, these whole situations, the Michael Jackson, R. Kelly, has made me, like, watch different videos on YouTube. Like the behind the scenes.
They're killing Mike right now.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that either. But like the behind the scenes of like various artists I've been watching, and I'm like, wow, like, or even people who have worked with R. Kelly. I remember seeing a video where Matthew Knowles was saying, I guess like they had worked with, like Destiny's Child had worked with him before, but him and Tina Knowles were there in the studio with them the whole time. And if they needed to use the bathroom, they would be walked. Like, one would stay with the girls in the studio, one would walk a girl to the bathroom. Like, we're not playing with you.
The man couldn't be trusted. We knew that back then. Like, the fact that you would send your daughter away with him.
Yeah.
Or let them be alone, like...
Right. Like, you gonna get on a flight with this?
How much are you willing to sacrifice for certain things? And that's crazy, but... Yeah. But, we're not talking about Mike today, but... I'm just gonna throw it out there.
I haven't seen the documentary.
I don't have to.
I haven't.
Mike is a weirdo. Like, music aside, Mike been a weirdo. Mike been had a weird fascination with kids.
Yeah.
You gotta, come on, man.
It's one of those things where
Protect
it's like,
your kids,
even if you didn't, which is like crazy to say out loud, because it's like all evidence points to the fact that you probably did. But even if you didn't, why would you want to continue to make it look like you did?
Bro.
It's the appearance of evil that's the problem. Like,
it ain't the appearance of evil. Like, to me, even if you didn't touch him,
that's the first problem, though.
Asking to have my child sleep in a bed with you, bro, you got a problem.
But then also, you have a problem as a parent.
For sure, for sure. So, it's all the way around.
I knew some parents that didn't even let people sleep over houses, and they were sleeping with other kids.
Yeah.
You letting him sleep with an adult? That's crazy. But anyway, let us know what y'all think about the R. Kelly situation. I'm sure we probably know what y'all think about the R. Kelly situation. But do y'all think he's going to go to jail again and actually, like, stay there? Because it's how many counts?
I
like
forgot.
15?
16.
Yeah, that's a lot.
So, anyway. All right, don't forget you can comment on all the socials.
Yeah. And
just let us know what you think.
Yeah.
All right.
So our Michel Matter is actually, it kind of ties into the current matter a little. Because you were actually saying, like, it depends on how far people would go.
Sorry. That didn't record it. Let's try this again. Ready?
You deleted it. Or whatever. Oh, okay.
Ready?
So, our Michel Matter is actually kind of like a branch off, in a way.
Of the Michel Matter?
Of the current matter.
Current matter.
Because you were saying earlier, like, it depends. Some people are willing to go further.
Yeah.
For money.
How much are you willing to sacrifice?
Yeah. So this is actually we were watching the conversation between Monique and Steve Harvey, where he was saying, you know the Monique situation. I think we touched on it on a previous episode.
Yeah, her Netflix situation.
Yeah. So apparently, like, a lot of people were backing her up in the background, but when she came forward to speak, a lot of those influential people didn't say anything to, like, back her up in the public eye. And so she was just like, you were on my side when I was talking to you in private, but now that we're out in the public, it's, you shouldn't do this or you shouldn't do that. Now, Monique has a special way of saying things, and she has called people things.
Hey.
But sometimes, to get your point across, when nobody's backing you up, you almost feel like you have to. So I can understand where she was coming from. But on his show, which is another thing that I didn't like, the conversation was, first of all, live on his show. So it's his platform, so he can control what's on there. And everybody there is going to applaud when they tell them to applaud. So they're having a conversation, and he's just like, well, if I do certain things for the sake of integrity, because she was saying, like, before the money game, we have an integrity game. Yeah,
so Steve, I guess during the back and forth, he told Monique, he was like, look, you can't be black, or you can't be, loud and boisterous in this game. He was like, it's not a race game, it's a money game. And Monique she set him straight.
Yeah. She was like, before all of that, it's an integrity game.
Yeah.
And then he was just like, well, if I put all of that aside for the sake of my integrity, then, if I fail, then my kids fail, and my grandchildren fail, and all these people, like, and I'm just like, like, do you have to sacrifice your integrity for money? Like, is that something that, like, I didn't know that was a thing, but when you really look at life, people do it every day.
A couple things, right? So, first off, from the back at the Netflix situation, I was, like, really skeptical about Monique, and
I wasn't skeptical. I thought she should have just took it, honestly. Or renegotiated somehow, whatever.
Or did her on her own.
Yeah, but I thought she should have took the deal.
My thing was, at the time, I just felt like her anger towards Netflix was a little misplaced. I feel like, I guess I understand the business side. You give people, you don't get what you deserve. You get what you have the leverage to negotiate. That's how contracts work. That's how salaries work. When you go to your job, you never get what you deserve. Like, who can really pay for your time, right?
Yeah.
But you get what you can negotiate. Like, that's all you get. Some people get more, some people get less.
Yeah.
But I feel like with time passing and hearing her speak more, I feel like Monique would have had a lot more support if she didn't, like, come at Netflix neck.
Yeah.
Mostly because we like Netflix more than we like Monique. So I'm gonna just keep it a buck.
Yeah.
People like Netflix more than like Monique don't keep me company at night.
Really?
When you leave. Like, Netflix, dude. Monique don't ask me if I'm still watching. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people have a strong connection to Netflix, and when she came in, Netflix, like, we got to boycott Netflix. And you're like,
yeah, hold on.
But in theory, like, the stuff she was talking about, Monique was on point. Like, she was correct. Monique is a legend. Monique deserves more money. Monique had no leverage.
Yeah.
And that's where she lost me. But in this conversation with Steve, Steve brought up, one of the first things Steve brought up was race, right? He was saying, like, you can't come in, your husband can't come in here and flex and this and that.
Yeah, he can't be the real, whatever his name is,
and
out here in public.
So the thing is, especially in this conversation, a lot of times when it comes to, your integrity over money, a lot of it, especially for it being, African American or Haitian American or whatever, just black in general, that we run into is a lot of times people tell you can't be black and make money. And when I say you can't be black, like you can't be yourself and make money.
Yeah.
And I think you cannot spread that message. I don't think we have to sacrifice what being black is or what people think being black is.
Code switching.
Yeah, like that is an issue. No. You are who you are, especially like in entertainment. You are who you are. Good business is good business, bad business is bad business. It's not about being, black. Because what he was saying, like, I can only imagine, like he said, husband can't come in here flexing like, well, he just big black man coming in here and being assertive and saying what he want. But I mean, when you white and you do that, you a power player. Cool. But when you black, you a problem.
Yeah.
So don't tell me, you can't, you gotta move a different way. No, I don't think that's what it is. I think as black people, we should know what the perception is of us before we walk in the room, but I don't think we should change who we are. But that's why, like I said, Monique should have took her act on the road, in my opinion. People aren't going to respect, like, we have to earn our respect wherever we go.
Yeah.
And go where you want it. Like, take it somewhere else. Go where you want it.
Take it to TV1.
Centric. We here for you.
But yeah. So obviously, do you think that you can keep your integrity and make money?
I mean, personally, yes. I don't know what happens in the upper echelon of things, like when you get to like a certain point when you making millions of dollars. But like for me personally, in my day to day, I think I can. I mean, I feel like personally that's how I've done it so far. Especially like, depending on the field you're going or the higher you get up in management, you see how shady it gets, or how you see avenues where it's like, man, if I wasn't who I was, I could be like here. But I don't feel the urge to like make that jump to change who I am, to go get some more money, or to.
But I don't even think it's changing who you are. So when I was saying that people do it every day, it could even be like working a job you don't like because you got to pay the bills.
Well, yeah.
Or working at a company where you don't even really support the mission that they're standing on. Or even I have been in situations where a company will tell you like to lie in an email because we actually didn't do this, so put this in there so that we get more leverage or whatever. And I'm just like in those moments, it's like, dang, will I lose my job over this? Do I even really care about this job? So if I get fired, am I gonna these are things that you have to think about.
Yes.
Like your integrity is at stake.
Because for me, when I think of integrity, right, I think of what is integral of jocks being jocks. Am I willing to sacrifice part of my Christianity for something at this job? Something that has to do with my blackness, my stance as a man. Yeah. Like, do these things interfere with who I am? And I'm those are, to me, I guess it all gets to a point, it's like, what means something to you? Like, is it worth it?
Right.
Is this, and then something people is this hill worth dying on? Is not having the Netflix special, or is that the hill Monique wants to die on? I don't think that's the hill she should die on. I think she should go take her show on the road and go prove everyone that she can do it. Yeah. Granted, she feels like maybe she doesn't have to, but clearly you do. Yeah. I know that that's tough for some people, like.
But for her, she has the leverage to do so.
Yeah, to do something else.
Right. Like, she has the financial backing. Hopefully, she's not in the same R. Kelly situation with her bank account. But she should have enough money where she can do that. But the average person, if they need to pay their light bill, it's not the same as
You're right.
Monique. Oh, well, if I don't get this Netflix deal, I'm good, regardless. So that's where it comes into play for me. Like, on the average day-to-day person, like, how does that work? And do we see it?
Yeah, I definitely see it. Like, to me, people who, like, you know them, the brown noses at work, the people that feel like they gotta be dog eat dog to get where they want to go. Like, sometimes I'm like, dang, like, is it worth it? Like, for real, is being that person worth it? Whether that's who you are or that's who you're trying to be, like, first of all, I don't respect it. And I don't think anyone respects it because people know. You know the guy's like, oh, he's just, he a brown, like, you can't trust him. The bosses know. They may give him the promotion still, but they know. I think there's a point that you stop. Like, there's a ceiling to that. People, I don't think, respect other people who have no integrity. Yeah. Like to me, Steve Harvey, I hope he misspoke. I really do, because
he did come back out and like say that he misspoke.
Okay.
And I understood what he was trying to say.
Yes.
Because I get it. Like, you're black in America. I do. But at the same time, that has to stop. Like,
yeah. And
that whole narrative has to stop.
I think it comes from black people the most, though.
Yeah, because that's where we've had to be.
Like, no, I'm saying the idea that you can't be black and be successful, and black as in not the color but the persona, or like, people kind of push that narrative like, oh, you can't come in here acting like that, or oh, you go to work with your hair nappy like that. Like, my hair nappy like what? Like, this is my hair.
Like how it grows?
Yeah. So I mean, and I deal with that at work. Like, somebody pulled me aside and asked me like, yo, you need to start combing your hair.
You?
Yeah.
What hair?
And I was like, first of all, don't disrespect my hair like that. Don't do it.
Was it when it was longer?
No, don't disrespect. My hair is it was like this. And I was like, I did. And he was like, man, you work with a bunch of white people, yada yada. You can't be going. I was like,
oh, I already know who you're talking about.
No, you don't, not him.
Oh.
But I was just like, what? But or they feel like I have to act a certain way to progress. I'm like, no. I think me putting out quality work is trumps all of that. Like, I don't have to sacrifice who I am to get where I need to go. Yeah. And I feel like most people do feel like that, and I know why. Because people tell them that all the time. People tell you cannot be who you are and get to a certain level because they didn't or they couldn't. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm big on preaching, like, be who you are. Yeah, I don't want to say preach, but like, I tell anyone, like, you can be black and successful, or you can be, you can have your male. Because the other thing I see a lot of times is, like, comedians, they'll do, like, especially say with black men, you got to dress up like a woman, or you got to do certain things to get in certain movies, to get to certain places. And it's like, dang, like... Yeah,
but that's not the majority. Like, the majority of, like, say, black male comedians have not dressed up like a woman.
Name them.
Tyler Perry and Martin. Who else?
I mean, then you put me on the spot. But
but I'm just saying that's not the majority of cases.
But at the time...
I hear people saying that.
Yeah.
But, two...
Nah, I feel like it's more.
No, because they're on, like, in Living Color, there was like a skit where it was at least 3 of them.
Jamie, Eddie Murphy, like they've done it. Yeah, they probably feel like they've had to do it.
Right, but still in the grand numbers.
I mean, all I'm saying is, like, it's just there's situations where it's like you don't have to do those things though. Yeah. But people kind of will push the narrative that you do. So. All I'm saying is, like, you have to first, to me, define what your morals are, and you gotta kind of have unwritten rules of things that you would or would not do. I feel like.
And sometimes it's just for a skit, though. Do you think that's losing your integrity?
No. If it's something you did not want to, no, I'm saying if it's something you did not want to do.
Or Shanae.
But I'm saying if you did not want to do that, but they're like, no, that'd be funny.
Right.
And
like, let's do it. And if you don't have control over that. But that's another thing, is like sticking to what you believe in, like what is a part of you. So like even at work, like if you're not gonna force me to do certain things for this project, or you're not gonna force me to, stay till a certain time or come at it. Like, you're paying me for this, and that's it. Like, that's all you get from me. Like, that's it. Because it's already, that time is not even the value that it's supposed to be at. So I'm not giving you nothing else. Like, that's how I see it. But it could be in the little situations where I feel like integrity always comes into play.
So besides like maybe asking to like lie on an email or something, has there been any other situations where you feel like your integrity has been like, not questioned, but like it's been put to the test for your job or anything?
I don't know if I would say integrity. I feel like creativity, maybe, because that's just the world that I'm in, where it's like, that doesn't even make sense. Like, why would we even do this design? But like, if the designer is telling you, or if market is telling, because you can even be a designer in the industry, take your thing to the trade show, and if market is telling you like, nah, that strap, we're not buying it, you're gonna change the strap because you have bills to pay. Like, you know what I mean? So it's even in things like that, like, what?
No, I guess because I think that's another good point. Like, not just integrity, because you could have integrity for your work. Like, how much are you willing to sacrifice in that area for money?
Yeah.
Because
it's hard.
This ties into actually another story that kind of came out last week or this week about De La Soul. And I don't know if you heard, like, their music is supposed to be streamed. Right now, I don't think it is streamed at all on any of the platforms. And they're talking about streaming it now. And whatever they make, the record company gets 90%. And they get 10% of the stream. That's the deal that they did, whatever, way back when they first started.
Yeah.
And don't forget, it's 3 people in De La Soul. So you splitting that 10%. And then the whole idea was they signed with that record company at the time because that was the only record company that would give them creative control over what they did.
Yeah.
And that was the price they had to pay.
Right.
10% split. 10 to 90 split is the price of creativity.
Yeah.
And it's like they chose their integrity over money.
Yeah.
Maybe to a fault.
To a fault, is it?
I mean,
because at the end of the day, what else are you going to stand on? Like, money is not going to last always.
And the thing is, back then, okay, I guess I can understand. Now, if someone were to tell me they sacrificed that whatever percentage they may have wanted to only get 10% because they feel like that's all they could do, I feel like, they also walk so we could run, right? So like now, you have all different types of ways to get your music out and do things. Like, there's no excuse.
Right.
We're not supposed to get deals like that anymore.
Right.
Like, what I would say, what else you do? I mean, believe in yourself. Believe that you can do it. You don't need somebody to push you.
Yeah. So
maybe, I mean, like, if as a creative, especially nowadays, like, look, if you believe that strongly, go do your own thing. Like, maybe that's what you have to do. Sometimes is you have the sacrifice we have to make over money. The sacrifice you have to make over money can be huge, but
they are huge.
I feel like now we have more opportunities to do it.
Even with the whole strap scenario that I mentioned, like, if our sales team is told, or our merchandising team is told, we need to change the straps, then that needs to go back to design to change the straps or whatever, which goes back to us. It's a larger picture, because if this doesn't sell, you have a whole company of people who you have to pay. Like, it's bigger than just, you know, that. So, like, am I going to sacrifice sales over a strap? You know, in the grand scheme of things, you're probably like, dang, I mean, that was a cool idea, but then no one's going to buy it. Like, yeah. But then I feel like that's another thing. Like, are we just going to let people tell us what they're going to buy? Why don't you just put it out anyway and see if it's going to work? That's my thought process. But, you know, I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a debate forever. Yeah. But I do think now, as a people, we have way more opportunities and avenues to not feel so pressured, I guess. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, it's going to take more work on our part, but it's there. There's all types of ways to get your own business off or change jobs. You know, you better hustle on LinkedIn and go find you another job.
You know
what? No, I'm serious though. Like, people are boxed into different circumstances because they feel like they don't have options.
They don't have yes. Yeah.
But I think now that's less of an excuse.
You have to know that there's so many options out there.
There are, but
and if there's not, you gotta make one.
Exactly. There's all different types of sacrifices you're gonna have to make. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so
let us know what y'all think.
Yeah. Have
y'all ever sacrificed your integrity for a check, for a relationship, for what? For anything, like, for
that,
real.
That's a whole episode. The integrity in a relationship.
Listen.
Hey.
Yeah. It's real. It's real. And I've been thinking about that a lot lately.
Don't settle, be great.
Because, like, you know, it's performance review time. So I'm just like, really? That's interesting.
Well, guys.
And if y'all have heard any episode,
there goes our
y'all know I don't care about corporate. So we'll see. But yeah, let us know. Sacrifice. Email us at MichelMatters@gmail.com, and let's move on. Listener matter questions. Hey. And the first one is, do you guys actually like being married? I feel like it would be the same boring thing every day to be with one person.
No. You want me to answer first?
I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, what's the question exactly? Do I actually like being married? Honestly, I love being married. Yeah. And I'm not just saying that because my wife's sitting right next to me.
Being married is awesome.
And I'm being recorded on a podcast.
Whatever.
But, no, but for real, I
being
always...
married to the right person is awesome.
That's a fact.
That's the key.
So, my thing is, everyone's like, you'll see me write it on like Twitter or something like, yo, stop playing to go get you a girl. Like, for real.
Okay.
Because, to me, I feel like it busts your life up a little bit. Mm-hmm. You move a little different. You mature in a different way. And I don't know. I feel like this week we kind of been, we've been connecting on a different level this week. Like yesterday you just like laying on me this morning. I'm just like, bro, it's like 5 a.m. Like, move. But I ain't really want you to move like that. You know what I'm saying? But it just was different. I don't know. It just felt like a good week. I don't know. Maybe that's why I'm high off life right now.
You're high right now?
I'm high off life right now. I don't know. I feel like we had a decent week. Maybe that's why I'm feeling this way. But also, I think it's not boring if you don't let it get boring.
I think just with life progresses and it's not boring. Like, you'll have, like, days where it's like, yeah, I'm bored. Like, let's watch TV or something. But life itself, we've been together since we were 15. Like, I'm not the same person that I was when I was 15, thank God. You're not the same person that you were. Like, you continue to evolve. And so evolution is not boring.
Yeah.
So,
but I mean, I get it. But I feel like you could get bored of anything. I feel like
yeah, you can.
dating different people could probably get boring after a while.
You're right.
There's something to the stability, and knowing like, okay, I'm coming home to her, and you know, I think a lot of it is, like you said, is based on being married to the right person.
Yeah.
It makes life a lot easier, for sure.
I was talking to one of my friends this week, today. And we were just talking about like just working with different people and like business ventures and stuff. And I was like, honestly, like right now, I would love to branch out and like have business ventures with people. But right now, I just have that connection with jocks. Like,
what you talking about? You trying to see other people?
No, I'm talking about like, I'll tell you later. But like people have hit us up.
Sorry,
yeah. People have hit us up during life to just be like, hey, let's do this business together, or let's partner on this.
I got you.
And I've had people approach me this week about stuff, and I'm just like, do I really want to? Because I like working with jocks. Like, I don't know. I love you, but I don't know what working with you would be like. And she was just like, well, y'all have that synergy. And I was like, I like that word. Like, you have to have like that connection with the person, and it doesn't get boring. But like to your point, you have to make it not boring.
Yeah.
Like the date nights or vacations, or you know, even just like, I think we're both creative in our own ways. We're both like into different things.
Yeah.
So you may want to start an AAU, and I may want to start a business, and like, you know, we go and support each other and take turns in that, and that's like a whole other episode. But yeah, like, it's just not boring because people are multifaceted. So
yeah, I think people sell the idea that marriage is boring, and then like you die a little bit when you get married, and you know, you're like, they try to tell you like you're like the last ride, like before, you know, things get crazy or terrible.
Yeah.
It's not like that, honestly. I mean, it can be if you let it, but that's not what it's like.
Yeah.
So, all right, what's the next question?
Next question. When is a good time to move out of my parents' house? I'm tired of having to be aware of their rules and be at their service all of the time. I'm ready to be independent and walk into my own peaceful place every day. So
They don't want me to answer that.
What?
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Why not?
Because I mean, if I'm be honest, you don't. When is a good time?
Yeah.
When you can afford to.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, but maybe they can afford to. If you have a job.
If you can afford to, then why are you still there?
I don't know.
But that's what I'm saying. People say that typically because they don't have the money. There's no other reason to still be at your parents' house unless you don't have the money.
So let's break it down. If you have to move out, let's think about it, because right now if you're at your parents' house and you know they love you, but they're still keeping you responsible over things, you probably have a bill or two to pay. Yeah. Or nothing at all.
Yeah.
So you should have money if you're working in something. If you move into an apartment, you're gonna have to have first, last security. If you move into a house, and furniture, obviously. If you move into a house, you're gonna have to have,
down payment,
closing, furniture. You know, you might have to fix some things.
All money, really.
Yeah. So, do you have like 3 to 6 months of expenses? That's always like the groundwork.
Oh, you're telling them how to get this done?
Yeah, like when is a good time? When you have
the money,
the resources to do so.
Because anything else is like, I mean, if you move out now and you're not prepared financially, you think you're gonna come home to a peaceful place every day, it's still gonna be chaos in your life. Different type of chaos.
But let's say this is a married couple and they live with like in-laws or something.
Okay, I think it's the same issue. There's no.
So then you would say don't get married unless you're financially prepared.
No, I think you gotta thug through it.
Yeah.
That's the only other option.
Yeah.
It's either get your money up or thug through it.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause I get it.
I do too.
Trust me, I get it. I love my parents.
So fun.
I love them.
I
but
came
as
from
soon
a very
as I
strict
could
household.
leave, I did. Like as soon as I could. And it's just been
that's the
amazing.
thing, right? It's like you can't. Some things you just gotta put up with.
Yeah.
Like when you live in somebody's house, you gotta follow their rules.
Yeah.
And the only way you can change that is get your own house.
Yeah.
That's when you stop following other people's rules.
And that's what my mom told me.
Is when you get your own house.
As soon as you can get out my house, you can do whatever you want to do. And that's exactly what I did.
So,
so
boss your life up. I don't know who you are. Boss your life up. Budget.
So yeah.
If
Save up, do what you gotta do, and then leave. You know.
All right. On to the business part.
Yes. So this week's business spotlight is a super cute business. I've actually been following them on Instagram for quite some time because I'm always looking at different things to get our niece and goddaughter and just kids in our life, like gifts for their birthdays, Christmas, and whatnot. So Harper Iman Dolls, I actually heard about them from another podcast like years ago. And they make linen keepsake dolls, and it's like handmade, and it's a Black-owned company. And they, like the linens they use will be, you know, brown colored, light brown colored, dark brown color. Like you can customize the doll to whatever you want. Yeah, and then the hair is made out of yarn, so it looks like our hair. And they have different size dolls. You can have little mini ones or like the bigger ones where it's literally like the size of a baby.
Oh.
Yeah, but they're so cute. Like they have the cutest little outfits. I'm like, I want one, but I'm grown. So I'm not gonna do that. Yeah, so I'm like, that's such a cute gift for a kid. Haven't gotten it yet because I feel like, I don't know if London would want that right now.
No, but I feel you wait a little while, Austin and Bree.
Yeah, I mean, they would probably want it right now. But it's a keepsake doll, so you can always just like use it for decoration and whatnot. Yeah. They recently posted a photo of a doll where it's brown, but then there's like vitiligo, like the spots on it. And I'm just like, this is so awesome. Like, just representation.
It matters.
You know? It does. So if you have little kids in your life that need dolls or toys and you don't know what to get them, and you know you have the money to spend on a custom doll, then go for it because they're just so cute. And we'll put all of their information below, and you guys can check them out.
All right.
That's it. You have any announcements?
Announcements? No.
You gotta make it to the gym.
Yes, I gotta practice a little bit. First practice for Top Dogs. I'll definitely probably next episode I'll let you guys know how you can help and support. We need all your support.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it.
Bye.
When I pull up on you, then I might swear, aye. Double off deuce, aye. That just might work, aye. When I pull up on you, then I might swear, aye. Double off deuce, aye. That just might work, aye. That just might work. That just might work.